Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. I was sitting around in my ketosis, or keto halitosis, or I don't know, whatever the hell you do on keto. But I was sitting around thinking about this today. And I was kind of thinking to myself, I have been pretty optimistic about the New York Giants' chances in this 2020 season. And I predict them to go 9-7, between 9-7 and 8-8, and I'm still predicting them to go into the playoffs because I think personally that 8-8 could win the NFC East. Because I think Philly's going to fall back to earth. Dallas is always Dallas. Washington sucks, and I think we're going to have a big improvement. But I had an epiphany yesterday, and there were three things about the Giants right now that I think all New York Giant fans should be concerned about. And some of these things can be fixed, and some of these things may just be me being concerned because of the seasons that we've had the last 3 years. But I think the first thing that I'm concerned about, and I think all other Giant fans should be concerned about, is the offensive line. I see everyone saying, well, the line's going to be fine. We got a lot of talent. We got a lot of depth. And we don't need Nate Solder because Nate Solder's a bum. Well, you know what? Nate Solder may be a bum, but he's a veteran presence on that line. And if you're going to go into a season with a rookie head coach with no preseason, 14 padded practices, and basically running 3 weeks of an OTA, you're going to need a veteran presence on that line. And you're open potentially 3 spots up on the line that could be manned by rookies. And that's a little scary. And the fact that we do not know what Spencer Pulley is going to give us for an entire season at center. And we don't know if Shane Lemieux can play center. We don't know if, we don't know what Nick Gates is going to do. And everyone's high on Nick Gates, and I've said it before. Nick Gates has a 3-game sample. And we basically gave him $10 million. People were like, well, no, we only gave him 6. No, your cap number is predicated off full contract value, including incentives. So that cap hold is really $5 million a season, or 5.28, I can't remember exactly what it is, for Nick Gates. Because you cannot predicate your cap off the low-end number. You predicate it off the high-end number. So that's what his cap hold would be. He had 3 games, and in those 3 games, the offensive line gave up 11 sacks. 6 against the Jets, 4 against the Eagles, and only 1 against Miami, because A, it was Miami, and B, Eli Manning was playing. Eli Manning is a veteran who knows how to get rid of the ball. He never took sacks. Even going back to 2004, when Kurt Warner was getting sacked left and right and fumbling, the Giants' sack totals went down when a rookie quarterback came in because Eli Manning always had a sense for the pressure and always dumped the ball off. Sometimes he dumped it off in the middle of the field to the wrong guy, but you know what? That's okay. That's just Eli. So right now, we have to hope that Andrew Thomas can progress. We have to hope that Spencer Pulley can play center. We have to hope that Will Hernandez rebounds from a bad second season. Kevin Zeidler is the only guy on the line I'm not really worried about. And then we have to hope that either Nick Gates or Cam Fleming win the job on the other side. And then my other thing I had said to people is, what if Nick Gates can't beat out Cam Fleming? Where does that leave us? And then we have to hope that Matt Peart progresses quickly. We have to hope Shane Lemieux can come up to speed. I mean, yeah, we have depth, but we have unproven depth, and we've now opened up 3 spots on the offensive line. Daniel Jones is the future. Saquon Barkley is the future. We get those guys killed, we are in trouble. Do I think that the offensive line is going to crumble? I think we are going to have some issues in the first 6 weeks of the season, but I think we'll progress. I'm a huge Andrew Thomas fan. I think Hernandez will have a turnaround. I don't know about Pulley yet because I don't know what's 16 games. I don't know about Gates. And anyone says that they can judge a player off 3 games, you can't. That's not possible. I can name 1,000 players that played well in a small sample one season and then was out of the league like 2 years later. You need a sample of work. You need a body of work. And either Nick Gates or Spencer Pulley have that body of work. So we're relying on a lot of ifs with that offensive line. The other if, or I should say the other thing that Giant fans should be concerned of is the pass rush. And it's more of a concern from the pass rush from the defensive line perspective. With Leonard Williams going out because of the hamstring injury because he failed his physical, Lord knows when he's going to come back. And so now we have to rely on the likes of like O'Shane Ximines, B.J. Hill, Dalvin Tomlinson, Dexter Lawrence. I mean, Marcus Golden plays a lot of defensive end, but he's really a linebacker. I mean, so once again, we did not address. I laughed. Jerry Reese never addressed the linebackers. Dave Gettleman does not seem to address the defensive end position. Plain and simple. And I laugh because the signing of the Gates contract really kind of negates, that's pretty funny, negates us going out and getting a pass rush or even considering going out and getting out Yannick Ngakoue or Clowney. Because of the fact that we still have to roll over Solder's cap money into 2021. If the revenue goes down, they drop the cap down to 170. When it's at 190 now, we are still only $7 million over the cap. So even if we had that $14 million, let's say, in this year and gave it to somebody, they would have to be willing to take less money up front and then prorate a large portion of their salary or bonus over a few years because we don't have the money to pay them after 2021. I mean, during the 2021 season, we have like 80-something million in 2022, but they would have to wait to get that money. So our cap is all screwed up right now to go out and get a premier edge. But unless we are going back to the Giants of the 80s and early 90s and we are going to generate a pass rush from the linebacker position, I'm concerned about that. And our linebacker position, in reference to generating the pass rush, you're looking at Kyler to generate. A lot of people are like, well, Kyler is going to have a big year. The Green Bay thought so highly of Kyler last year, and we've said this a million times. They drafted a linebacker with their number 1 pick. They signed 2 starting linebackers, and then people say, well, he didn't play a lot. He still played over 40% of the snaps for the Packers. So we have to kind of hope that he finds some kind of, magic in a bottle from the linebacker position, because Mayo is not going to give you the sacks. Blake is not going to give you the sacks. Conley, we don't know if is going to be healthy. Yeah, I mean, we got 147 7th round draft choices of linebackers that are coming in. So I don't see us getting the snaps from that area as well. But like I said, I'm more concerned about getting the snaps from the defensive end position. And I don't see it. I don't see it right now. Even if Williams was healthy, I don't see it. Same with Ximines. O'Shane Ximines to me is kind of a similar player to Kyler. So they have two very similar skill sets. They really can only rush the passer. Rush the passer. This is 97.5 WFA, and we're going to be getting right back to this. But here we go. We're going to play some Cashmere. Sorry, I just had to get that out of my system. It's Taquito. But they're very similar players. So I can't see us. I'm just concerned right now. Like I said, maybe someone turns the corner, and surprises us. You never know. But that's one of the other things I'm concerned about. The last thing that I think all Giant fans should be concerned about in this season is injuries. We lose Saquon or Daniel Jones, the season's over. The season's done. We lose Saquon, especially in the first 6 weeks, the season's done. When you're installing a new offense and you have Daniel Jones only having 14 padded practices and no preseason, that's asking a lot of any young quarterback. So we're going to be Barkley left, Barkley right, Barkley up the middle. It reminds me of the old Munsters episode when Herman Munster, I forgot what happened to him, but Herman Munster used to sit there and go, run, run, run. That's what we're going to have to do. That's it. So if we lose Barkley, we lose like 80% of the offense. And it's the same thing with Daniel Jones. What we have behind Daniel Jones, Colt McCoy, great short-term solution if we need to play for a game or two. Have no problem putting him in. You want to talk about 6 to 8 weeks, we are in serious trouble. Cooper Rush. We have no idea what Cooper Rush is. We have no preseason to find out what Cooper Rush could be. So that's an interesting conundrum. And then we go to Alex Tanney. Alex Tanney's going to be holding a clipboard, wearing a polo shirt this year for the Giants as probably a quarterback coach or assistant quarterback coach. Alex Tanney can't play. So those are the things that concern me the most going into this season. I'm not saying these things are not something that they're unsurmountable. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying we need to look at perspective of some of the issues that we could potentially have going into the 2020 season. And like I said, it's sad because, like I said, preseason to me this year, a lot of people say preseason is a joke. To me, this year, preseason was a necessity. You got a lot of young guys in the line. You got a first-year head coach, rookie head coach. You got a new OC, a new DC, an entire new coaching staff. The quarterback learning his third system in 3 years. Barkley coming off an injury. This was something that we kind of needed. But you know what? You can't cry over spilt milk. Joe Judge, I have a feeling, is going to push on through, make things happen, get it done, make it happen, Captain. And we're gonna roll through the season. And like I said, we predicted that we may have a bad first part of the season. I think I predicted 1-4 from the other day's video, and then I was predicting, going 8-8 for the entire season. And I do think that if they go 8-8, I do think Joe Judge will be the coach of the year. So again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And I think you know what comes next. If you don't, because I don't remember right now, if you can if you can subscribe, if you could ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.